terrible. It was just terrible.
Welcome back to Hack City. Joe DeLeone and Sean Anderson, two former college football players from the University of Rhode Island. For some reason, my internet is already deciding to just give up at the start of the stream. Hopefully it cleans itself up. Sean, we're doing a mailbag today. We're talking about bowl season. We also got a couple other just random stupid thoughts from the week. How are you doing today?
You're setting me up, pal. You're setting me up.
I don't know why. I don't know why you'd be having a bad day.
I'm having a good day. I had a good day is what I'll say. The jacket that you've been making fun of me for has been received positively by a majority of those that have seen it.
By mostly dudes, right?
No, and women.
Your mom and your sisters don't count.
They're women. They can like it.
Outside of your family members and dudes that you've seen at the bar, who has actually positively spoken about that orange monstrosity that you wore?
Nobody yet.
Well, I haven't even really. I'm just still breaking it in. Give it the test run.
Okay. We're gonna get to the bowl games. Before we do, though, can you just share with our listeners really quick a word from Bet Online?
Yeah. Interesting. You know what? I'm going to stay away from the soccer discussion. Why wouldn't I? I got a buddy going over to see a game and bet live. So I think I was gonna fade him, just because that would have been fun. Regardless, we got some Thursday night football tonight. We got some college football bowls this weekend. You're gonna lose your ass on the bowls. All right. Let's just be straight up about it.
None of them are easily.
You're gonna lose your ass on the bowl betting. But guess what? Next Tuesday, when it's 3:00 and you're sitting there just counting down the days. When am I off? Oh, my boss. I can't. Why am I not off yet? And you just feel that, and then, football's on. Oh, here's $10. Bet online. Let me have a better day. That's what they can do for you. Head to the website today to get into the action and see all the updated odds for the week. Remember to use promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.
So, Sean, you already said, and you set this up perfectly with the read. And if you're going to be betting on these bowls, why don't we talk about the 6 bowls that we're the most excited to see during bowl season before we get to the mailbag questions later on in the episode? Sean, there's a lot of just really stupid games. There's a lot of games, and it's going to be hard for a lot of college football fans to figure out which of these games are actually watchable. You know, which of these games are either going to feature competitive matchups, or which of these could just be hilarious to observe. So we're each going to share 3 bowl games that we're going to be locked in on, and we're going to try not to miss no matter what. I'm going to start us off here. This one's a more of a serious one. The Alamo Bowl. It's kind of weird that we've gotten to this place in history that now in 2023, going into 2024, the Alamo Bowl is actually kind of a good matchup between 2 highly ranked teams. I guess it's the result of the college football playoff. I don't think it's a part of the expanded playoff, but still, it's funny to see that it is now in the mix. Arizona versus Oklahoma is the matchup. Sean, I'm excited about this one because we get to see 2 young quarterbacks battle it out. And I think both of these teams, for the most part, have important players coming back. I know Oklahoma had a bunch of guys hop in the portal. I know that they're also a very aggressive team in bringing guys in the portal. But Jackson Arnold is a player that I've been intrigued by, and one that I think could take like a huge next step. Dylan Gabriel did good things for Oklahoma, but Jackson Arnold could be a lot better than him and could really ascend and end up being kind of like a Connor Weigman type player who eventually develops into a highly touted draft prospect. So to get to see him, Noah Fafita, duke it out, I think this game could be, high flying, high scoring, an exciting matchup between 2 up-and-coming young teams.
I don't know if I got trolled this week or not. I saw a tweet that was talking about Oklahoma's offensive line situation.
It's not great. They had a bunch of guys hop in the portal.
I didn't know if it was a troll account or not. So I'm not that confident in talking about it. But if all 5 of their starting offensive linemen have hit the portal or graduated or moved into draft,
it's not all 5. I don't know what the exact number is. I just know that there has been a little drama with one of the interior guys who hopped in the portal, and there's some guys moving on to the draft, and it's going to be a thin group. It's going to be a thin group.
I think it's going to be a little, but other than that, I'm excited to see Arizona play. First time I've ever said that about them or their pro team. They have had a good season. Jed Fish was on his game this year. It's a climbing program. It's a rising program. They are risers, officially risers, heading into your last game of the year, right? Heading into a new conference next year. Get yourself some momentum. Go out on a nice note, because the Big 12, I'm not going to say they got the best competition. I'm not going to say you're walking into the SEC or any of that. But it's so important going into the offseason with momentum. It's hard to do that now. Transfer portal hurts that. All the shifting and moving hurts that. But if you can get a nice win, it's way better. Nice holiday break for you. Get back, you lift and you feel better. Not, oh my God, we just took a beat down to Oklahoma with their backup quarterback and this and that and this and that. It's going to be a fun game, I think. I'm excited for it. And I'm looking at your other picks. I'm glad you started with them.
All right, what's your first pick?
My first pick, Coastal Carolina, San Jose State. How could you not want to see this game? How could you? The Hawaii Bowl. I think
this is a deep pull, man. This is a
dude.
Deep,
it's a bit of a deep pull. I'm
dude.
not going to say it's not a deep pull. Here's why I want to see it. December 23rd. I think, is that a Saturday? I think it is a Saturday. Saturday, December 23rd. 10:30 at night, Joe. 10:30 at night. We get bowl action. This is it. You have like your last weekend before you got to go see all your family, before you got to start working with the New Year's crowd. You can go to your bar, you can get ham boned if you choose, or just at your home and nice relaxed ham boning. And then 10:30 at night, let the wave of San Jose State wash over you and Coastal Carolina. It's not going to be a great game. It's not going to be a great game. I don't know if Siobhan Cordero is.
What day is this and what time is it?
Saturday, the 23rd, 10:30 at night.
This is one of those bowl games where you stumble into a room still just mid drunk and you're like, oh, there's football on?
Yeah.
Like that's one of those games.
This gets the party
never
started.
Coherent. It's not coherent viewing. This is never a coherently viewed game.
Look, I'm just saying this is a get the party back going game. This is a big fun one. I don't know if he's playing or not. I'm going to admit that. But if Siobhan Cordero is playing, then we get another reading from the book of quirked up quarterbacks that Joe doesn't like.
Remind me after the show. I can't say it on the show. I heard something really funny today about Adrian Martinez. Let's just say somebody spent a little too much money on him. As I'm gonna keep it really. I'll tell you, it's just like, you know what? It's pure back end stupid shit. I can't. You can probably figure out what I'm saying.
I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. Guide Life is in here. Good friend of the show. If Sean stumbles into his living room, football will never be in, apparently. Maybe soccer.
I believe that's on. No. Here's the thing. I try to keep my house as a democracy. So if it's like NFL Sunday, right, and there's soccer going on at like 9 a.m., I don't care. I'm not thrilled about it, but I don't care. I'd rather have, NFL game day with whoever rolling. But when 1 p.m. strikes, really at 12:30, all soccer goes off. Saturday, it's a fight every Saturday over that remote. You can watch soccer on your phone. You can watch soccer when there's no more football. I've been
go to the
fighting
bar
the
down
good
the
fight.
street that puts the soccer games on. Like
I've been to that bar with them. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare.
Those bars are always terrible. They're
American
never
soccer
good.
fans pretending to be foreign soccer fans is so cringe-inducing. There's people that like soccer and appreciate it and then played it. It's so cringe-inducing that they're all everybody's wearing the jerseys and that they're at this Irish bar that's like it's a Chelsea bar. No, it's not. No, it's not. We go there and drink Guinness and play trivia. It's not a Chelsea bar. All right. It's maybe a soccer bar for 2 hours on Saturdays.
I understand we're going a little off tangent here, but just like a quickly round out that thought. That's my issue with American soccer fans is they all act like they're British or they think that there's some extension of England or Europe. And I don't get this. Like, I don't get this desire to go move there, go live there. Can you be an American soccer fan? It's like, I got to wear the scarf and I got to go to this I got to go to the pub and order a Guinness. Like, just go watch the fucking game, man. Like, settle down.
Here's the thing. I've actually grown a good amount of respect this week or even today. Sam is going to England to watch his team play. He just left tonight.
I respect that.
You know what? I respect the hell out of it. You got on a flight. You know the bit. You're going to do the thing. And he brought a couple other soccer friends with him, and they got to. I'm like, you're really doing the thing. You're a real fan. I'm not. I can't really. Like, I can talk about how boring and weak and embarrassing soccer is, but I can't question his fandom. That boy loves that boy loves the game. If you're willing to get on a flight to go sit in that game.
Nah, neither one of us had. Oh my god, I'm blanking on which bowl game this is. Ohio State versus Missouri. It's.
Oh, I got you, brother.
Peach Bowl. I think it's the Peach Bowl.
No, I have the Peach Bowl.
So okay, you check which one it is. This
Bowl.
Game, though, Cotton Bowl, neither one of us wrote this one down, but I think it's worth quickly bringing up. DC, thanks for throwing that in there. Just to quickly hit on, I think Missouri wins this game, and I like that what it kind of gives us a peek at next year for Missouri, because a lot of those guys are coming back, except for, I don't know, I would assume Cody Schrader plays in this game. You've got the whole receiving core. You've got a lot of defensive players coming back. Brady Cook's coming back. But the fun side of this is what bowl season's turned into, by the way. It's never, here's a good matchup, let's debate who's going to win. It's now, what can we see for the next season?
Yeah.
I want to see what Devin Brown's like. I really want to see if Devin Brown's got a little juice in him. I want to see if he's got something in him. He might.
Everything in me wants to see Missouri get this win. Everything does. But when all that stuff lines up, and I think Ohio State pulls it out. Just because I know how I think Ohio State wins.
It's a dog shit take. You think Ohio State beats Missouri? Who of Missouri's guys have entered the portal or declared? Ohio State's whole roster.
You're proving my point. You're proving my point, brother. Ohio State wins the games you don't want them to win.
You have
That's
such
what they do.
Backwards logic sometimes. I just
How is that backwards logic? I'm telling you how I feel about the game, and I feel like Missouri will win. I want Missouri to win. I'm more excited by Missouri. And when all three of those things get mixed up, that means the Buckeyes are winning. Because I can't have everything. You can't have the whole cake.
All right, I'm going to get to my second game. I'm not going to disagree with what you're trying to say.
I just gave you the regalia. You don't know what to do. You got spun at the top, didn't you?
You spoke a bunch of nothing, man. You just said a bunch of shit. None of that made sense. This is low-hanging fruit, the Citrus Bowl, Iowa versus Tennessee. You were saying beforehand that you're a little annoyed that I took this one. But again, this is low-hanging fruit. Deacon Hill is one of the most just hilarious, dumpy quarterbacks that I've ever seen in the history of college football. Their offensive coordinator situation is still undecided. Rumors Scott Frost might be the guy, but then they're facing off against one of the more explosively capable offenses in college football. Now, I know that they weren't up to the level of last year, but Tennessee still got some juice. They run the ball really well. They've got some receivers that they can stretch you. I don't know off the top of my head if Joe Milton plays in this game, or let me rephrase. Joe Milton declared for the draft. I don't know if he ends up actually playing, because so many things can change in the lead up to these games because of the world that we currently live in. If Nico Iamaleava plays, that would be really fun. But if Joe Milton plays, still, this is such a vast difference in ideologies and also just locations from where they're from and fan bases and all of that. The clash between these two teams is so goddamn funny. Part of me wishes that we got somebody that was even more, take the top off. I'm trying to think who would even fit that criteria that would have been in that striking range. Maybe I know Ole Miss is better than, too good for a matchup like this. But still, this is hilarious how stupidly lopsided this matchup is.
I'll tell you what. I know we're still a ways out. This game's getting played on the 1st. I think Iowa covers this baby. The line was set at 8.5 earlier today. I think they cover. I think they pull all the stops, Joe. You ready?
Oh, no.
They score one offensive touchdown and a field goal. They get 10 points of offense. they pull all the stops, and then maybe they get some defensive.
Oh, I thought all
scores
the
and
stops
safety.
you were going to say that they got a defensive score and a special team score.
Oh no,
and
they'll
an
get more than
offensive
10
score.
points, but 10 total points at least will be scored by the Iowa offense. And the
You're
Tennessee
optimistic.
I'm being realistic. This is
That's
what they've
very
been waiting
optimistic.
for. Kirk Ferentz is going to discover the other 80 pages of a playbook underneath his desk, and it's going to be revolutionary. It's going to be great.
There's two ways that I think that this game could be hilarious. They're obviously not going to happen. One, if Iowa just decides to run the triple option, I think that would be really funny. Or the other side of this, what if they just go like full air raid, man? Like, what if they go full spread, just throw the ball 40 times in the game?
I'm thinking they pull.
I think you got to do that. Yeah, just do dumb shit. Like, you're not going to win. You're probably not going to win the game. And everybody's already laughed at you to this point. It doesn't matter if you win the bowl game. Now, Kirk Ferentz is a million years old and hardened as shit, so he's not going to do any of this. But if I was Kirk Ferentz, I would show up and I would throw the ball 50 times. I'm not running the ball once. I would see how many times I could throw it.
I wouldn't roll out the punting team if I was Kirk Ferentz. I would say, you got the fun stuff all year. Now no more punting. We're going to have explosive offense and take the top off. That would be a dream scenario.
Also, to watch, Torrey Taylor can break the all-time punting yardage record.
What, his own from last year?
No, I think it's career. There's one record or something that he's in a position to break. What's your second game?
My second game is pretty meat and potatoes. A lot of people are looking at this one. The Orange Bowl, Georgia versus Florida State. A lot of questions get answered, but this game leaves a lot more questions after that. It's going to be who ends up playing, who ends up not playing, and then how much of an impact does that have? If Florida State makes it a game, and if Florida State wins, hang the banner. Hang it proud and call yourself a national champ, and I'll recognize it. I don't think they will. I think Georgia wins. They're a better team. They're a deeper team. All that fun. I know how it goes. That was as strong if I give Florida State, I don't know, 15% chance of winning.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
Other than that, Georgia is just going to show off their artillery and what they have cooked up and loaded for next season.
Most of the Georgia teams coming back, and there's been a lot of kids who have hopped in for Florida State. So, like, very simply put, I don't think that even if Florida State, if they were fully geared up, they would still be an underdog. So, but with them not having likely Keon Coleman and them not having Johnny Wilson, I don't know what the deal is with Jaheim Bell and Trey Benson. I feel like a declaration is coming from all of them soon. Jaheim Bell accepted his Senior Bowl invite, so I don't even know if he plays in this game. They're a team that is going to deal with a lot of frustrated kids who decide just to dip. And they've already had guys in their defense enter the portal. It's a tough situation for Florida State. So just kind of got to be prepared for this one to be a little bloody.
Yeah, I think so too.
Last game that I had, and this one is just for shits and giggles, the Fiesta Bowl between Oregon and Liberty. Look. We got to be completely honest with ourselves. This is the most ridiculous team to have been given a New Year's Six bowl game. This is a freaking joke.
Really, Oregon lost to Washington twice. They shouldn't have been in it. They should have been,
Stop it. Stop.
What? Who are you talking about?
Stop. Liberty played the weakest schedule in all of college
football. You're talking
football.
about undefeated Liberty?
This should have been SMU. This absolutely should have been SMU, and I would argue that SMU maybe could have played competitively for the first half, like a little bit. They've got a well-coached team,
They got a good O-line.
Team. Yeah. I don't know what it is. I've had some exposure to these Liberty fans, and they're really annoying. They're really annoying, and a lot of them think that they're going to show up and play, like fully believe that they're going to show up and play a competitive football game. This game will be 30-plus points at halftime. And I really look, Dan Lanning, please, we are all just asking you, do this for us. Hang as many points up on them as possible. Please, just take all of your frustration out of them.
Why are you rooting against a G5?
No.
Look,
wait,
I agree it should have been SMU also, but we all need to root for Liberty.
No, because here's the deal. Liberty doesn't stand a chance. This game will be boring as shit if Oregon shows up, takes a 20-point lead, and then just coasts their way through it and they win like 42-7. I don't want that. This game would be hilarious and would be so entertaining if they just scored at will in like 3-4 plays every single drive, multiple forced turnovers. Do what you're capable of doing. We know what Oregon is capable of doing. Bo Nix is playing in this game because he's such a hardo and he's trying to get the stat. Get it in glory. 500 yards passing, 6 touchdowns. I want all of
That's glory. Getting
Yes.
stats versus Liberty is Joe. I've actually flipped on my stance on this. I love Liberty getting this game. I love it now because I'm starting to think of some of the mechanics of how I would want to do it. Look, we're going to throw a G5 up against Oregon, right? Oregon, deserving of a CFP ranking, top 4 ranking until the last week of the year, all year. They've been really up there, right? Everyone's been tracking. Everyone's been following. They deserve to be New Year's 6. And we got to put a G5 in there. Why not? Let's throw a lottery ticket out there. Let's throw a lottery ticket and see if Liberty can give us a fantastical upset. I like that plan. Aside from it's kind of competitive, and then Oregon ran away with it. I'd rather see
that ruins it for me. That's bullshit. Because then that's not fun. Because then I
like the lottery ticket, Joe. I like the lottery ticket.
But then I leave the season thinking like, wow, Oregon wasn't that good. No one's going to be saying Liberty was that good. Everyone's going to be saying, damn, Oregon kind of sucked.
Here's what happens, Joe. If SMU got it right, it might be close at half, and then it becomes a slog for the second half, and you're just kind of like, I kind of knew that was going to happen. I want the chance. I want the opportunity to not know what's going to happen.
You're such a hack. Quick note.
I'm a fan, is what I am.
Before we get to your last bowl game, quick comment from Guide Life. I dig these breakdowns, but man, I can't wait for the playoff next year. With this current bowl system, so many of these guys opt out to not play. It's too bad not seeing the best versus the best at the top. I completely agree.
Yep.
I think everybody agrees with that sentiment. I just want to take this the step further that everyone likes to say, like, oh, you know, a lot of these games down the line maybe won't mean as much because you can still lose and get in the playoff. I completely disagree. I truly, truly believe that we have an opportunity to see teams that in the past would not even be in the conversation.
Liberty.
To be fighting. Not named Liberty. I'm talking about like old Miss at the end of the season is in a position. The Egg Bowl has a ton of importance now for them to make the playoff. Missouri is another team. I think of Penn State maybe getting more difficult matchups at the end of the year and them having to prove and fight their way into the playoff. I just like the thought of that you realistically now have all the teams in the top 25 or at least the top 20 teams within striking distance.
You've tripled the amount of teams where it matters to in October and November. You've tripled that. That's better. It's better. They should have started with it. I agree with everything that you said except for your Liberty stance, which unfortunately that's
Liberty's your Adrian Martinez. I get it, man. I get it.
I wouldn't say that.
You just pick a thing that I say sucks, and then you're just all in on it.
No. That's not how it is at all. That's not how it is. That Adrian Martinez. You're being blasphemous again.
Your dumbass last year, the Adrian Martinez. You don't even remember where that came from because I said that Will Howard should start over Adrian Martinez, and then you went on this tirade saying that he had to be. Adrian Martinez had to be the guy. And then now all of a sudden you're talking about how Will Howard is the next Adrian Martinez. Like you forgot that he was his enemy. He was the Antichrist in your book of Adrian Martinez. You're just flipping because I was clowning on Will Howard because I said he's a big dumpy quarterback. That
I love big dumpy quarterbacks. We both do. Look, I just don't know why you have to be so blasphemous about the Lord and Savior.
What's your last bowl game?
You just don't have to do that.
What's your last bowl game?
I mean, now I'm in a foul mood.
Avery Johnson should be the next Adrian Martinez if we're being honest with ourselves. He's got the long hair, man. He's got it all.
There will be no next. It's just
You already
chooses
crowned
to
Will
follow.
Howard it, so.
Well, that's if he goes to Nebraska. My final bowl game, the Peach Bowl, Ole Miss, Penn State. Both these teams, I mean, they're technically in the top half of both their conferences. Technically, they are. I think they're both fine programs, fine teams. But now we get to see a battle of, I think Pat called it the Glass Ceilings Bowl, where you're just looking up the entire time. Both these teams have been looking up. I thought it was a great name for it. I called it, I think I'm deeming it the perennial "You Let Me the Hell Down" Bowl, where every year you think, or Little Brother Bowl, any of these things that just exemplifies teams that are fine, that are good teams, fun teams, good players, good coaches, but they can't take the next step. And I would say that Penn State is, I mean, there's too many good. Penn State is the Ole Miss of the Big Ten and vice versa. And Ole Miss is the Penn State of the SEC. Let's see what happens. Maybe we just see 0-0 and somebody wins 3 points, or we get a super fun shootout, 48-45, very fun game. Oh, anything in between. Anything but a blowout. I don't think a blowout is possible in this game. They're just too similar. They're thematically too similar for one of these teams to be exponentially better than the other. I'm excited for it.
This game rather, has two teams that not a lot of guys I think have really declared or entered the portal. And if anything, both have been pretty bullish already. I think that this, just like we were talking about a second ago, this actually feels like it is in the expanded playoff. It feels like it's a part of the expanded playoff. Like, it feels like this is a competitive matchup where you've got young quarterbacks, or you've got a young quarterback versus a quarterback who's returning with good offensive weapons that are facing off with one another. And we could get to see, a pretty exciting game because they're not really depleted. Neither of these teams are depleted. I wanted to get to something that you sent me on Twitter that I thought was perfectly fitting for the stupidity of this show. And then we're going to get to the mailbag questions. But this is something that you sent me, Sean, which is something that Sicko's committee posted. A Division III semifinal game that has these two idiots broadcasting the radio call from a dorm room. I got so many questions. The more you look at this, so they're in a girl's dorm room. Like, look at what's on the wall. So I just gotta know, man. Like, did they come knocking on the door and say, "Hey, we need this room. We're commandeering this room"? How did they negotiate this? This is so stupid. This is so unbelievably stupid.
Yeah, it is. Apparently, they're set the broadcast in the model dorm in an administration building on the other side of the field. A model dorm. I don't know if this is someone's actual stuff or if they're literally just in a dorm room that people show, or that's for photos.
Read the caption.
Advertise, dude. Look at Buddy on the chair. This is straight up D3 action. And you know what? The Sickos committee has done a really good job of shedding light on these things. I don't think these two guys are idiots. I think they're legends, and they're doing what they need to get done, because both of us have seen the inner workings of some very shoddy broadcasts. And if it's our attempt, if it's other people's attempt, are you just scrolling Twitter now? I'm
scrolling the comments.
This is the trials and tribulations of what it takes to become a broadcast. Like, this is what people talk about. If one of these guys blows up, that photo will be famous. It will be. It's unlikely, and it's unlikely for anybody. It's just it's a hard field to really blow up in. That is a couple of legends doing the dirty work. All right? They are true journalists.
So stupid.
And I think it's embarrassing that the likes of some of the WRIU cast was sitting nice and cozy in the press box. I'm just sitting here like, I know what others have. And look at these guys
we went
that love the game.
We went to school with idiots who wore Jordans with suit pants and khakis and thought that it was a good fit.
You know what?
These guys are just
what everybody on ESPN does, and that's what they were ahead of the curve. I think
it is That's one of the worst outfits, by the way.
A
I can't
stupid Nick
stand when
Cardy and his
broadcasters wear that
terrible.
shit.
I hate it. Put on some shoes. Put on some real shoes. Either go hoodie, sweatpants, and some Air Force Ones, or go full suit. And I prefer full suit.
When people do this too, it's always colored. Like it's always like a bright red. It's always like the red Jordans. There's always like an accented color that they're wearing. At least if you're gonna do it, get like a brown or a black, and at least try to make it seem like you're trying to look nice. It's just this stupid.
Do you know what Tafts are? Tafts, Tafts. They're like a casual formal shoe. And unfortunately, I've been following this guy, Derek Guy, who has, I guess he's a fashion guy on Twitter. And he's been talking about the plague of the casual formal sneaker. And everywhere I look, I can't stand it. Put on some real leather shoes. Put on some penny loafers. Put on anything but the casual rubber sole. The bad. You look better. You look better with real shoes than the casual stuff. God, hate that.
Not enough men in this country, man. Not enough men in this country. That's
what used to be in mind. God,
maybe
too many dudes doing hypotheticals on Twitter.
Maybe that's what that's gonna be my new hill to die on. Every time I see a local news broadcaster who posts a picture of themselves wearing Jordans or just Nike shoes with their suit, I'm gonna do the go get on the oil rig, buddy.
Dude, you should. Who started that? I don't know who started that. Just a bad look.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I'm cool. You're not. No, you're not. You're a sports dork. Be a sports dork.
All right, let's get some of these mailbag questions. Anyone who wants to throw today on Sean's Fashion Corner,
I'll throw. You know what? You can joke around, Ryan, and Joe jokes around also. Sean throws some fits. Sean puts some fits together.
You don't have that shit on, man. Definitely Brandon asked. Shut up.
No, you're not talking to me.
You wore a fucking orange jumpsuit on the show the other day. Let's settle that down.
What do you mean an orange jumpsuit? Are you talking about my
the
last jacket?
The thing that we talked about at the beginning of the show.
It's a Douglas fur collaboration, bro.
Oh, it's a Douglas fur collaboration.
No. You can't live out west and then disrespect the farming of the Douglas firs, in which one farmer planted firs because he knows the season and he was able to plant them in a smiley face. So they turned yellow. All the evergreens around it turned green, and it looked like it's a stunning. You don't know. You don't know nothing about putting it on. All right,
trying too hard.
Let's move right on over.
Trying too hard. Doing too much. Definitely, Brandon. First question: what FCS school do you least want to go to next season for the trip? Not counting any prior opponents from your playing years. And what are you willing to do to not get sent there? It's a good question, because I'm trying to think where, like, look, we could jokingly be like, I don't want to go to Presbyterian. I actually had a buddy who was on the coaching staff of Presbyterian, and he kept trying to get me to come to games. He's like, are you going to come to a game? I'm like, no, I'm not coming to a game. I'm not going to Presbyterian, which you told me is a 2-hour drive from the local, the nearest airport. Sure as shit, I'm not showing up at Presbyterian. Those are the obvious ones. But, like, what's like a recognizable school that would not be worth going to?
Wagner. I'm not going to Wagner.
No. Okay, that's another one that's an obvious one. It's in fucking Staten Island in the middle of nowhere.
We used to watch Wagner film in the O-line room.
God.
I sat there and I'm like, dude, I feel it was always raining. It was always cold. I'm like, I'm getting cold watching this film. I hate. Can we watch somebody else?
You would have been starting at Wagner if you went there. Who's somebody though that's like a recognizable brand of a fan base that follows the show? Campbell kind of fits the billing. I'm trying to think who would be a good one. I don't think anybody in the CAA, because we've played enough CAA teams, so that disqualifies the question. Maybe SIU. I feel like SIU Stadium.
I'm thinking somewhere SIU, UNI.
Or like Sac State doesn't seem like it's got like a very fun game day environment. No offense, guys.
What about Youngstown? When I was driving up to Bowling Green, I passed through Youngstown.
They got a pretty rabid fan base, dude. They get pretty active for like a homecoming.
I don't know if do they? Do they have an active
Yeah.
young fan base? Because a lot of them on Twitter, it's Penguins fan and then their birthday. It's a lot.
Birth year.
It's a lot of handles ending in 8-3 or 7-7. I know what it is. All right, pal.
I'm wondering what like FCS school is the most in like the middle of nowhere. I forget what I was saying with like a recognizable fan base. I think Presbyterian kind of hits the nail on the head, and then
like Idaho State, because you don't get to go to the Liminal Kibby
nah.
Dome, but Idaho State.
I mean, I'm going to throw this out there. I'm kind of no, because Georgetown's in a cool area. You know, like
Your first time going to. Yeah, I got a buddy on Georgetown staff right now. Yeah, I'm cool with Georgetown.
who is somebody we played with?
No. Just a
Someone
guy.
from high school.
No. Somebody that I met that's like an auxiliary friend in the group that just became like a G or a GA at Georgetown. He played like D3 ball, and he's just like a GA. Why can't I say GA? Grad assistant. God.
Guide Life says that he's waiting for Sean to say Montana. I actually was going to say Montana.
I would love to see Montana. I would love to go to Montana again.
Wait, I would love to go, but I have a feeling that it seems like the Montana fans would not be as welcoming. That's my problem, is that I feel like we go to South Dakota State, and we were there and we talked about the trip. We were there and it was exciting because, you know, we went and tailgated and a lot of people wanted to talk to us, and we got to do just a lot of just having conversations with people.
You walked around and somebody said Hack City, and I'm like, oh,
right.
Cool. That's nice.
I would be afraid going to Montana of someone throwing something at the back of my head if they figured out who we were.
You're lying. They would go after me first. They would go after me first because I put them at 17 when they deserve to be there. All right. But
I don't think a lot of their fans
since then they have. I don't think they do either.
Okay. Next question. I'm not going to answer Jamie's because it's just too much visual shtick. Chester asks, oh, I'm skipping that question. Definitely Brendan. Second question. How many Prairie Fire shots have you ordered since Brookings? I've debated ordering when out with people because I think it's a good bit, which is it's tequila and Tabasco for anyone who doesn't know what it is.
I don't think it's a very good bit personally. I'm also not a huge fan of tequila, so I'm not going to be judgmental on this one. But for the record, since South Dakota State, I've had one shot. You guys killed me. You put the old dog down. I don't take shots anymore because you gave me the goo shot and then you gave me the liquid
mixer.
fire shot. It's the goo shot. And I'm only calling it, that's just because we're on right now is what I'm calling it. You gave me enough gross shots where I don't take them anymore. I don't. Could I have a Corona, please? Thank you. I know I enjoy this. No one's going to trick me.
I also, just to go as far as to say, I don't know why anyone wants to do shots. I feel like shots are always just a night ruiner.
It's the dumbest thing.
I'd rather pace myself and enjoy myself.
Buy the whole bottle and pull it at the bar by yourself.
Big Iron asks, how do you think the transfer portal is going to affect the top schools in the FCS? It seems more and more that it will be luck of the draw and who is good or not. The way that I see it, that a lot of these teams that do have good players at any level, if you're winning more often than not, I don't think guys will hop in the portal. I think of the circumstance of teams that take early exits in the playoffs and also who miss the playoffs are naturally going to get picked apart at any level. If you have a losing year and you've got good players, they're going to hop in the portal. Guys get upset. I know this happened at Rhode Island. A lot of guys hopped in the portal because they're just like, all right, I'm done with this. I want to move on. We're not winning here. And there's just tension in the locker room that just builds up when you're not winning as much as you think that you can. But I really think, and Sam Herder actually made a good point about this on Twitter, the FCS, we perceive it as the top guys enter the portal and they get all these offers. But it's really a finite number of them. It's a really small amount. And frankly, a lot of times, these guys that were draft prospects and that were good enough to go P5 were transferring at one point or another. Like they were going up as grad transfers, or they would declare if they were good enough to do so. I really don't think it changes that much. I think the FCS has such a different funneling. The only thing that I've noticed that's affected is that if an offensive lineman is slightly above average at the FCS level, he is going to get offers from the G5 and the P5 because it's hard to get linemen.
Yeah, the trenches is completely different because everybody needs them. But I think there's a lot that comes into play with why athletes transfer and why they don't. If you like your coach, your positional coach, that's massive. If you have a chemistry with your position group coach, your individual head coach, whatever, you either like him or you don't. That's the situation. It's the big guy. It's, do you have chemistry and do you feel like you can get better year after year with the positional coach that you have? And if he stays there and you do, then you typically stay. If you don't, or if you feel like you have reached the potential with that coach, like Dino Boyd, right? He reached the potential at URI, went to go play Cincinnati, had a cup of coffee in the NFL, is in the CFL now. That's a natural progression. I never was like, man, Dino bailed on us. It's like, no, Dino was really good. He got coached the hell up. He took all the drills onto the game, and then first team all conference, all this and that could be a huge piece for us. But then he said, look, this is the path. And I think he had a decent relationship, but coach relationships is huge. I mean, tampering's always there. It's just, we grow up if you think that your favorite player doesn't have a coach in their DMs, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on. There's a ton going on more than the kid wanted the school. He was tired of it, but sometimes guys get tired of it. I got tired of it at times. Joe got tired of it at times.
Yeah.
And then some guys just stick it out and some guys don't. It's also how well you are and how acceptive you are of change.
Here's actually a good question. I don't know if this is as applicable for you. I think it's a little more applicable for me, but like if the portal was a thing when we were playing, do you think there was a time that you would have hopped in? Because I honestly, again, we've never talked about this. No one's ever really asked us this. I think if the portal was a thing, I would have hopped in after my junior year. And I wish I did. I really wish I did, because I think that for me personally as a player, I think that there were limitations set by me not having. I was a player who I thought that I needed a different strength and conditioning program. I really did, because Coach Rich didn't take me seriously. He didn't take the specialist seriously. Like, in all seriousness, I would constantly go to him and I would be like, Coach, I need to put on more weight. I need to get bigger. I need to get, a lot stronger to be able to handle some of this stuff. And he would give me these bullshit answers just to pass me off to an assistant coach, or would basically be like, you're doing it. He's literally said to me enough times, you're doing enough. You've done enough. You do enough working out. And it's like, that's not true. You're not giving me enough coaching. You're not giving me enough guidance. Part of me wonders if I was at a G5 team, if I got a little bit better coaching, what could have been different? Do you think that's a ridiculous thing to say?
You know what? I don't think it's ridiculous. There were times where you expressed frustrations with me while you were there. There was one time where you got kicked out of the weight room or something like that. I know you still you hold that one close, but I don't know. It was weird. I dabbled with it every year at some point. I did. I got kicked out of the weight room. I was trying to remember what you were talking about.
This was the most ridiculous part. We had an indoor weight room, but we had no indoor facilities with a turf on it. And I used to go in there and snap. And it was closed on a Saturday during finals, and I had all my tests done, and I just wanted to go I had nowhere to snap. I had nowhere to do it. I was doing it in a fucking basketball court, and it was impossible to properly get my reps in on a basketball court when I needed to be on some type of a turfed surface. And he found out I figured out how to get in, and he told me I can never do it again, which is insane. Your job is to the progression of a player. I'm not directly blaming it on the strength program, but I'm just saying that I feel like if I was somewhere that had a little bit better resources, I wasn't athletically gifted. My point is, I wonder if I had more exposure to being trained a little bit harder, what maybe could have been different.
That's fair. I mean, the transfer stuff, I don't know. I thought about it every year. I did. I mean, I walked into the Virginia Tech offices and said, hey, do you need a body? My sophomore year, I just walked right in. Everyone thought I was a player. And I just walked and found the O-line coach's room. And I don't know if it was actually him or an assistant. Like, hey, if you need one, let me know. Here's the situation I'm in. And then after that, I mean, I took calls junior year, made calls junior year. it might have been like a UConn coach or somebody, but it was always there. It was always there. And if you're not playing as much, you always think it is. You should be. But I also knew the whole time, oh my God, Sean, your feet are so slow. Oh my God, you are not at the same strength level as the other guys. You just got to lock in. And it just became locking in. And it was every time that happened, it was like, yeah, I'm going to stay. Why would I not? All my best friends are here. And but you know me, I'm a locker room guy. Huge, everything about it. The good, the bad, the drama, the highs, the lows, all of it. Like it just, now I'm looking back, I'm like, I don't think I would have transferred. I think if I were to do something, I would have gone JUCO out of high school for a year.
Or a prep school. That actually might not have been a bad idea.
Yeah, JUCO or prep school. I needed another year. I was a huge, like terribly bad late bloomer. Terribly bad. Like now, like I'm walking around now thinking, oh my God, I could actually be playing ball. Like, cause I'm just physically, like I actually feel my body better than I did from ages 18 to 22 or 21, whatever.
You could have been one of those 7th-year players, man.
I could have been, but I am also saying that, and I freaking pooped my pants tonight. So it's way, what do I know?
Glad you admit it. Juice Master says, when the Grizz take out the Bison, can we change the name of the show to Houck City? Look, I'll change it to Houck City if you guys win the national championship. We'll do it for a week. I will change the cover art. I will change the overlay. I will change all of it. We will be Houck City for a month. How about that? I think that's a fair. I'll put it on the table.
For a month. What did we do wrong? We didn't do anything wrong.
I think it's a good bit. I think it's a good bit because I think it's a fine bit because a lot of people. There's been a couple individuals that have clowned on us because of the name, and they're like, "Oh, you guys really are hacks." Like, no shit. That's why we named it Hack City. I think it'd be a good bit.
We're not a college football show. We're a show that likes college football.
I think I'm willing to do that. If y'all win the national championship, we'll do it for a month. The month of January, we will be Houck City.
You know what? Jesus Christ. All right, fine. But you got to make the other intro also when you do all that stuff.
Next question, Sam Teets. You can pull any 3 players from the transfer portal to your favorite FBS team. Who are you taking? I'm gonna shift this a little bit just because you don't have a favorite FBS team, and I mean Riley Leonard to Notre Dame is already what I wanted. One guy that we want to see that's still on the market end up in a location that we think would be perfect for them. I think Cam Ward ending up at Florida State would be perfect. I think that roster has so much talent. I think that it is just a hotbed for recruiting right now. And to inject them with so much juice by throwing Cam Ward into the mix, I think would be so exciting. And right now he's supposed to be potentially taking a visit with them soon.
I want to see Kyle McCord to Michigan. That's what I want to see.
That's not going to happen.
Why wouldn't it? You tell me it can't. It can. I don't know. I want to see where Kyle McCord goes. It'll be. I hope he doesn't go to some stinker program, loser program. I hope he goes somewhere where he can make Ohio State pay, because it's just, you got rid of, what they did. Ohio State's treatment of Kyle McCord is what they wanted to do to Ryan Day. And that is how
Ryan Day took it out on him.
Ryan Day took it out on him because the school is taking it out. It was completely sequential of how all the frustration came to be, and they blamed the quarterback. They got better in every game this year.
It is really stupid. It is really, the whole saga.
Stupid. And I'm just like, it's turned me off of Ohio State so much to see that this quarterback, a good quarterback, not great, not elite, but he got a full year under his belt. You're sitting here like, oh, let's get rid of him. He was driving at the end of the Michigan game, and he was the problem.
Yeah.
No, he was not the problem. Day is the problem, and Day got rid of him because he can't get rid of himself.
Next question from Dan, my man. If you're going to a party and your wife and your mom both made chili, whose chili are you trying first? I'll let you answer this one.
Is it a chili party? Like, what is this?
No, let's say that this is it's just a simple family gathering, and you don't know until you get there that both of them made chili. and you don't know the level of importance it has for both of them.
Okay. Well, if I walk in, I see the chili pot going. I'm literally blockading my wife, and I say, "Put it back in the car. We're eating this, and then we got this chili for the next couple days." I'm
So
making a
you're more
strategic
afraid of your
call.
mom, is what you're saying.
No. Not a fear thing. It's they already got chili. They don't need to know that we made chili, and we get chili for the next week. We're doing good. And then these bozos, we're just gonna eat their chili.
That's actually a really good point. It is kind of a weird vibe if you show up with food that was already there. That's combative. That's very combative.
Yes, all I would do that and if we're gonna play like semantics, you have to have both. I'm gonna gorge myself on both.
Wait. Wait. Let's break this down for a second.
Okay.
Your wife is only doing that to spite your mother. That means that there is not a good.
Moms do it all.
Yes.
It's a weird that bit is a bad bit, and I hope, and I've never been in that position, thank God. So
I mean, you don't have a girlfriend, so it's not.
My mom has always been chill and cool and nice with my girlfriends. There's never been any drama or beef. I don't have,
maybe you haven't dated anyone long enough for that to really happen.
I had a 2 year and a 1 year.
Yeah, I don't know if that's long enough. You need some real attrition, some real breakdown.
I don't need breakdown. You like breakdown. I don't need breakdown.
No. I'm saying that 5 to 10 years is when that relationship starts to sour, I feel like. Because just like there's a honeymoon phase with a relationship, there's a honeymoon phase.
I couldn't tell you the difference.
Albany's quarterback got an offer from Michigan. 6'3",
the quarterback's brother. Learn how to read. Albany Dane's QB brother got offer from Michigan. 6'3" high school QB.
So Poffenbarger must have a little brother. Okay. Thank you, DPS.
Thanks for bringing that to attention, Joe.
Isn't DPS like... Oh, no, I'm thinking of CPS, which is Child Protective Services. I thought that's what it is.
You know what? You're DPS. Actually, I'm DPS. I'm Dope Protection Services, and I'm going to take you out of the show now.
You struggled to even put that one together, so I don't want to hear
me a little bit. My tongue was fighting my teeth there.
Last question that we have. This is a fun one from Chester. What's your what's your guys' Mount Rushmore of chain restaurants? Can be fast food or sit down, and why is Hooters number one? First of all, I have to put on the table, Applebee's incredibly overrated. Like the $1 drink thing, yeah, I'm cool with that. But this weird cult fandom, Disney adults and people who like Applebee's give me the same vibe.
A little bit. Yeah, we had a tough Applebee's crew in college.
Okay, Texas Roadhouse has to be on there. Texas Roadhouse has to be
one of the best steaks, and I've eaten at great steakhouses. One of the best steaks I've ever had in my life is at Texas Roadhouse. No joke. And I've Luger's, Ruth's Chris, real other steakhouses that aren't like Texas Roadhouse put that thing together. Oh my God. My Mount Rushmore top of the dome piece here. You got to put Chick-fil-A in there. A lot of great memories. I mean, the association of when you first start driving and you can get to a Chick-fil-A, it's huge. I remember driving back from WPRO with Joe, and I would have 4 spicy chicken sandwiches on the ride home. It was awesome.
That is
Chick-fil-A up there. Oh, you had 4 too, brother.
I'd say I put Five Guys in there. I agree with Chick-fil-A. I'd put Five Guys into there. I think Five Guys deserves a spot as the best burger chain place out there.
It's close to it's almost too good to be in the chain category.
Why would it not be in the chain? It's a chain.
It's too good. That's why. It's too quality.
No, that's a chain. I'm putting that in there.
You're off the chain right now.
Nice. God. Call it early tonight. Go to bed early tonight. What else would we get?
I'm throwing Popeyes on there also. I guess I'm 2 chicken places right now. I don't know if I want to say McDonald's. When McDonald's brings the snack rack, when McDonald's brings the chicken tender wrapped in a tortilla,
doing this yourself
with cheese back, then it elevates back onto the Mount Rushmore. Because
I had another. I was just gonna say, I didn't mean to cut you off. What's like another sit down place? Because I feel like we're going too fast foody. I need like another sit down place to
Are
round
you
this
an
thing
IHOP
out.
guy?
Oh, I do like IHOP. No, but not that much.
Here's the thing. The problem with the IHOP is that everything tastes like ketchup. The silverware, everything's a little bit damp.
You're
And I
eating
know
the,
they're cleaning it,
Damn.
or it's either ketchup or onion, one of the two. And everything, the water tastes like it's got a specific. I'm a Denny's guy too. I'm not gonna lie, but I think I'd take IHOP over Denny's.
Chili sucks. Red Lobster sucks.
Those both
TGI
suck.
Fridays sucks.
I've spent a good amount of time in Outback this year. I don't think it's Mount Rushmore.
I was gonna say Outback. I was gonna.
I think Outback.
2 steak places and 2 chicken places. Outback's got to go on there, dude.
Here's the Outback approach, though. Okay, because we always do it. Outback's appetizers and starters better than any of their entrees because we always go and we just maul the appetizers and like, oh god, we still order entrees. I think you just go there and you just ravage the starters, ravage them. That's the best use. I mean, I'm not going to run through because it's just a fat conversation. But Outback has earned some respect from me this past calendar year.
Yeah, you know what? I don't think enough people give respect to those. Just I don't want to call it shitty. Well, okay, normal people would classify it as like shitty steak. It's not. It's really good, simple, cheap steak. You can get a really good steak from these places. The appetizers and the sides are usually really good. I'd rather have, because you know what's bullshit and it happens so much to me now that like I'm in my mid-20s now, and like my girlfriend likes to go to steakhouses every so often. It's like, well, we go for we're going to one in on this weekend. I have encountered too many instances where we've gone to these really nice ones in LA and the steak's been fucking shit. Like it's been bad steak. Like,
you got to get East Coast steak, Heartland steak. I don't deal with steaks unless it's at a really nice place up in the north. The beef and chicken and all of it is. There's some spots in this country where it's you just don't stay away from it. Rhode Island was terrible with that. California, I think, for the most part, not great with that. California has too much other produce that they get going.
Getting avocado.
Get your steaks from Texas. Get your apples from Virginia. Whatever. Make sure you're getting it where you need to be getting it. If you're in the northeast of Rhode Island, you should be eating seafood every night for dinner, not trying to make a chicken breast work because it's going to be terrible.
Throwing 2 out there at you: Buffalo Wild Wings, Cheesecake Fest.
I'm fond of the
Buffalo Wild Wings. Buffalo Wild Wings sucks. Cheesecake Factory's good.
Buffalo Wild Wings, I think, is the worst chain establishment in America.
Yeah, overrated. Unbelievably.
I think Burger King, which is not even close to my Mount Rushmore, I think Burger King sweeps B-dubs 4-0. And I think it's not even close. That's how basement bottom dweller suck ass Buffalo Wild Wings is. You can't get a drink. You can't get your wings. It's not as good as Wingstop. It just sucks. I don't care about the sauces. I need a dozen wings with 1 sauce. Can you get it to me? You can't? Fuck you.
You seem like a Quiznos guy.
Not a Quiznos. A Jersey Mike's.
You seem like what about Olive Garden? What do we think about Olive Garden?
Not Olive Garden.
Oh, wait, here's an underrated one that doesn't usually get brought up. The original Pancake House. Have you been to a Pancake House?
I would sub in a Waffle House, though. I would sub in a Waffle House for my Mount Rushmore.
Waffle House. Oh, easily that make what is it? 4 usually in Mount Rushmore?
Yeah.
I would bump out Five Guys for a Waffle House. I've never had a bad meal at a Waffle House, and you leave and it's $15 for a mess of a waffle, a mess of eggs, a side, bacon, and a coffee. $15. Every time I'm in the South for I'm traveling for something. Oh my God. I make sure I stop. When I was at the Senior Bowl 2 years ago, I went to Waffle House every morning for breakfast. I made a point to go.
Plan.
I got grits with cheese, a waffle, scrambled eggs, and a side of bacon.
Yeah, syrup.
Yeah, cheese.
I go plain with a little bit of salt and pepper. All right, let me round up my top 4, top of mind. Chick-fil-A, Popeyes, Waffle House, and I think I got to throw a red meat in there. It might be old. I don't know if I could throw them.
You know what's another overrated one?
Wendy's has gotten so spiked up in price that it makes me hate them. where I think they have the best burger with the Baconator. Fuck them. Fuck their prices. Shitty ass, stupid Wendy's just running up a check like they're Five Guys. They're not. So you know what? I'll tag in Old Reliable. Fuck you, McDonald's. You're in top 4.
What about Cracker Barrel?
Oh God, I've had many. The Cracker Barrel is okay, but the best thing about Cracker Barrel is the spectacle. It's better. The spectacle is better than the food. The rocking chairs are better than the food. The checkers on the table better than the food. The gift store better than the food. The fireplace with the fire roasting, you have the ambiance. It's better than the food. The food ain't that good.
I think if I were to round out mine, Waffle House, Texas Roadhouse, Outback. Was it 4 or 5 that you're supposed to have on there?
4. That's a Mount Rushmore, pal.
Okay. Well, you gave 5, didn't you?
No, I gave 4.
Okay. What do I want to do in this last one? Let's go Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is consistent. I'm going to go Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, I fucking hate Taco Bell now also. It's too expensive. It's in the same realm as Wendy's. You used to be everything I needed. Everything I needed. Now you just suck too.
I applaud that before the show you told me you wanted to find a way to talk about Taco Bell, and I was like, no, we're not talking about Taco Bell. And the end of the show, you found a way to talk about Taco Bell.
Well, we did an order like last weekend, right? Late night order, like last Saturday. I did not place the order, thank God. 4 people came out to it was like $60, $70. Ridiculous. It's Taco Bell. It should be $10 a head.
All right.
Yeah.
That's good note to wrap us up on. Don't order Taco Bell at Joe DeLeone. Is that counter advertising at Joe DeLeone at Sanderson Radio? Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future live streams. We're probably going to be going every Thursday around this time, 4:30 Pacific time, 7:30 Eastern time. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, folks, and bowl season.